Tapai. As we know, tapai is a traditional fermented preparation of rice or other starchy foods and is found throughout much of Southeast Asia, especially in Austronesian cultures and parts of East Asia. It refers to both the alcoholic paste and the alcoholic beverage derived from it. It has a sweet or sour taste. Hello, my name is AMIR RAFIQIN bin Muhammad no?
Hi, my name is NURULAIN with the MASROM.
Hi, my name is NADILA SYAKIRA.
Hi, my name is MUZAFFAR.
We are in Majalah 3 show and I hope you guys will enjoy our show. Okay, let's go. Hi, my name is AMIR RAFIQIN and I am the interviewer for today's show. I will be with you guys until the end of the show. Before this, you guys have learned and seen a little bit about the introduction of tapai. As we know, tapai is the traditional fermented preparation of rice or other starchy food. And this tapai has been made at the Asia, such as Southeast Asia, Austronesian Asia, and certain parts of East Asia. For your information, now we are at Kampung Hulu Langsat, Selangor, which is this is the place that where the most delicious tapai production have been made here. Today, we will bring a person who will be with us, which is the owner of the tapai production named Cik NURULAIN, and a few person they are important too, and they are Cik Nadi and Cik MUZAFFAR in Majalah 3 show. Why we bring all this person? Because today we will learn and see from the owner of the tapai production, also a few person about how this tapai have been produced, also what is the microorganism that's involved, and more. So let's go. Now we are with the owner of tapai production and she is Cik NURULAIN. Okay, Cik NURULAIN, may I ask you, what is the principle of microorganism and also the product which is tapai? Can you tell us about it?
It is a very good question to start our session today, Encik Amir. Thank you for the question. So before I start my explanation, let's get into my room so you guys can have a better and brighter explanation from me. So let's go. Before I answer about the microorganism, allow me to describe tapai first. Tapai has a lovely aromatic aroma that is sweet but slightly alcoholic. The glutinous rice or cassava is juicy, soft and luscious, with some liquid produced during the fermentation process. Both sauces are manufactured on small scale or for commerce and in the houses for family nourishment. It is technically consumed as dessert. Tapai is a very perishable product due to the fact that fermentation continues even after the ideal stage has been attained. As a result, it must be eaten right once, but it can be kept cold for up to 2 weeks only in refrigerator. Over fermentation produces a sour alcoholic product that people dislike. As I mentioned before, tapai undergoes one of the food technology process, which is fermentation. Fermented foods have a number of advantages over the raw materials from which they are created, including increase of flavor, texture, appearance and scent, as well as a longer shelf life. In comparison to canning and freezing, the cost of preservation is also quite low. The starter of fermentation process is ragi. Ragi are dry, white, hemispherical balls with a diameter of roughly 5 to 6 cm. Ragi is locally produced. The production of ragi also vary in different areas. For an example, the production of ragi in Penang, Malaysia, they employ a Thai-inspired technique. The rice flour is combined first with spices, which are said to contain the beneficial microbes. After that, instead of water, it is blended with sugarcane juice or extract and formed into balls. The creators believe that adding sugarcane juice or extract will turn the ragi into a sweet tapai. If rice wine is to be made from the ragi, water is used instead of the sugarcane juice extract. The ragi vegetation in the region surrounding the preparation area is frequently abundant. Ragi manufactured during rainy seasons, on the other hand, is found to include marsh mimosa and rhizophus because of the greater relative humidity and longer drying time required. The microorganisms thrive and reproduce while the paste is still fluid, so that by the time the ball is dried out, the total viable counts of yeast and fungi has increased dramatically because the oil method isn't completely sanitary. The microorganisms recovered from ragi sample from various locations match the microflora of ragi reported by other researchers quite well. Ragi invariably contains an amylolytic genus, either Amylomyces or Aspergillus, which is noteworthy because this is a controlled fermentation. Bacteria, yeast, and fungi has been isolated from the ragi. According to research, a blend of Amylomyces rosei, Adenomycopsis, Fiboliger, and Hansenella anomala is required to make an excellent glutinous rice tapai. The organism A. rosei and E. Fiboliger are required for a good conserved tapai. These organisms were chosen from ragi collected in various parts of Malaysia. Miller, which is Personal Communication 1983 of the Department of Food Science, the University of California in Davis, confirmed the identities of E. Fiboliger and H. anomala. Individual pure cultures were put to the test to see if they could generate tapai to break down the starch into fermentable sugars, and amylolytic bacteria has to be present. If the fermentation was allowed to finish, as in the tapai of East Malaysia, they would transform to alcohol, aromatic ester, aldehydes, and acids. The sticky glutinous rice or cassava is transformed into a soft, juicy substrate with a sweet alcoholic flavor as a result of the fermentation process. The low alcoholic content is due in part of the fact that tapai fermentation is not an anaerobic process. Furthermore, the fermentation is usually stopped before all the sugars are fermented because the desired final result should not be alcoholic if it is to be taken by people who are religiously or otherwise opposed to consuming alcohol. The most common bacteria that induce spoilage are Aspergillus, Penicillium, and Rhizophus. Bacterial degradation can also occur owing to acid-producing organisms such as acetic acid bacteria. These rotting organisms are typically found in traditional ragi since it is produced in a polluted setting. Contamination can also occur as a result of improper preparation or environmental conditions. Neurophora for rotting food and growing it an orange color. That's all from me. I hope that I answer all your questions and give you the correct information.
Okay, Puan Ai. Thank you for your information about the principle of microorganism and the product. As you guys know, this tapai production process is a process that needs more required times and also needs a good care to produce a delicious tapai. Now, we are with the person who are in charge to monitoring about the process to produce the tapai, and she is Cik Nadi. Okay, Cik Nadi, can you share with us how to produce this tapai, or what is the process to produce this tapai?
Thank you, Mr. Amir. I am Miss Nadila, who are in charge of monitoring the production of tapai. As we know, there are two types of tapai, which are glutinous rice tapai and tapioca tapai. Actually, it is very easy to make tapai. So, let's go through the production of glutinous rice tapai. The ingredients that we need are only glutinous rice, finger millet or known as ragi, and banana leaves. First, rinse and soak 1 kg of glutinous rice for an hour. After that, steam the glutinous rice until the texture is not too dry and not too moist. Next, transfer the steamed glutinous rice onto a tray and let it cool down for a while. In the meantime, gently crush half ragi ball into powder. After cooling down the steamed glutinous rice, use a strainer to sprinkle the ragi powder onto the glutinous rice. Spread them evenly and use a wooden spoon to mix them. After we finish, wrap the glutinous rice with banana leaves and leave it in refrigerator for 2 days to let it go through fermentation process. That is all for glutinous rice tapai. For tapioca tapai, the steps are not too different from glutinous rice tapai. The only thing we need is tapioca and ragi. Remember to only use 1 ball of ragi for 1 kilogram of tapioca. Okay, let's go through the process. First, steam 1 kilogram of tapioca until it is cooked nicely. Then, transfer them into a bowl and let it cool down for a while. After that, use a strainer to sprinkle the ragi powder onto tapioca to distribute them nicely. Gently mix them with a wooden spoon and make sure not to crush the tapioca. Lastly, transfer them into a jar or any container and leave it in refrigerator for 2 days until it is ready to be eaten. It is very easy to make tapai, right? Thank you for joining me in the making of tapai. Let's go back to our interviewer, Mr. AMIR.
Okay, thank you Cik Nadi for sharing about the process how to produce this tapai. Okay, now we are with this man, Cik Muzaffar. Cik Muzaffar, can we know what is the application of this tapai or the variants of this tapai?
So, hi and Assalamualaikum. Thank you to Mr. Amir as the interviewer. So, I am here today. I'm going to share with you some application or variants about the product that we are talking about, tapai. Besides, this food is so delicious and yummy to eat, it also have many benefits that is good for us. Eating this food, which is containing low level of fat and also has soluble fiber, which is stimulates our digestion organ to be better working, is definitely a healthy menu for diet option because the food is naturally without any chemical or surgery treatment. Other implementation of this product to our service, it can energize our body. For your information, tapai contains high carbo and consuming tapai give such similar effect of eating rice or any other carbo. We can apply tapai as our source of energy. Tapai works to help split the protein in our body to feed the cells. Effect of this action, our body will be fresher and fitter. For the last one, the good thing about tapai that I want to share with you today is it's improving muscle and neural system. Tapai produce and increase thiamine in our body, which is functioning to increase the muscle and the neural system. Then our body will feel fresh and more energized after eating tapai. So, I think that's all from me today. We'll be back to the interviewer, Mr. Amir. Thank you.
Okay, thank you Cik Muzaffar for sharing about the application of this tapai. Alright, thank you to you guys because stay until the end of this show. Now, we can conclude that from the fermentation technique, different types of food product can be obtained from this method. Fermentation is a metabolic process in which microorganisms have been converted. Fermentation is a metabolic process in which microorganisms such as bacteria, yeast, and fungi have been converted into the organic compounds as usually carbohydrates such as starch and sugars into the alcohol or acid. Thank you again to all of you guys because stay until the end of the show. So we will meet again in the another show in Majalah 3. Assalamualaikum.